Hi guys, Jamie from Boxing Life and welcome to my prediction video for Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk. So first and foremost, I'm really excited about this fight. Really interesting clash of styles for these two guys going into it, and it'll be very interesting to see who comes out on top. I think it will be a close fight, if I'm being honest, just because, you know, they're two top heavyweights. However, I have kind of made my mind up who I think is going to win. I might be wrong, but hopefully this breakdown will kind of give you an idea of what both fighters will kind of give coming into this fight. I'm actually going to be going down to the fight in London, which I'm ecstatic about. I can't wait to be going down there. I can't wait to experience that big Anthony Joshua fight night in a stadium. I thought it was just kind of a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. You know, I don't know, you know, who knows what will happen. And yeah, I'm just excited to go down and watch it. I know it's going to be a bit different because it's a stadium fight. However, I will obviously watch the fight when I'm back and I'll give you my thoughts. I might even do a vlog and show you my experience from going down. On that note, let's get into the breakdown and then I'll give you my prediction. So first up, we've got Anthony Joshua, and I think this is going to be a fairly obvious point in terms of you're probably going to roll your eyes when I say this. Oh, God. But I think his size is going to play a key factor going into this fight. He's 6'6", his reach is a lot bigger than Usyk's, and he's going to try and use that to his advantage, and we've seen that against kind of similar sized opponents of Anthony Joshua in the past. You know, kind of Pulev, Joseph Parker, who we'll kind of be talking about in a sec. So I think he needs to kind of use that to his advantage going into this fight. Now, there's different ways he can use his size. So in terms of his actual kind of fighting style, you know, Joshua actually likes to fight kind of mid to kind of a longer range, and that's just generally so he can utilize his jab, which he's very effective with. He's got a very underrated jab, which he tries to mix up from body to head, and he throws it from different angles. You know, very underrated, and he's also obviously very good at setting up his big right hand, which we've seen him knock out a lot of guys. And you know, I think that's a big worry for me for Usyk going into this fight. You know, I think Usyk will at points have to close down that distance, and I think this is where Joshua can take advantage of it. You know, he needs to take his size for his advantage against Oleksandr Usyk in this fight. Now, saying about that big right hand, you know, the last time Anthony Joshua fought a southpaw was obviously Charles Martin for his first world title, and he obviously set up his right hand perfectly against him. And now obviously there's levels to this game. Charles Martin isn't regarded as one of the best heavyweight champions there ever was. However, Anthony Joshua, it's clear, was able to still set up that solid right hand against a southpaw at that moment in time. But I think he'll probably be looking to set up that type of punch. Now, just watching kind of like similar fights, I kind of watched the Joseph Parker fight, and I found it very interesting in terms of Joseph Parker's approach to that fight against Joshua, where, you know, Parker's a kind of explosive puncher when he tries to get in the inside, but he's kind of like a boxer puncher with good foot movement. That's very similar to Usyk, and you know, I think Parker struggled to get in the inside of Joshua. Yes, the referee didn't help in that fight. You know, he was, as soon as they closed the distance and tied up, the referee was in there straight away, and hopefully it isn't like that on Saturday. I don't want the fight to get ruined by another kind of referee coming in the middle of it, but I think Usyk's going to struggle when it comes to that. I think Joshua will be jumping on him every single time. Especially in that fight, he was tremendous at tying him up, and Usyk struggled against the likes of Chisora when it came to getting tied up in that fight. So I think personally that's something Anthony Joshua should take advantage of in this fight, is being smart when it comes up close. And then another point I just want to make is he needs to kind of take a bit off his new fighter Chisora, who's just signed for his management company, and kind of go off what he actually did against Usyk, and that was just the intense pressure he was putting on the Ukrainian in that fight. Now, if you look at Joshua's last fight against Pulev, when he at any moment hurt Pulev, he was jumping on him to take him out. And this is where I worry for Usyk. If Usyk gets buzzed once, Joshua will not hold back, and he will go full out. And and this is the thing, Joshua is a tremendous finisher. We've seen it already in multiple of his fights. He's great at finishing off opponents when he has them buzzed or hurt. And that is a great worry for me for Usyk going into this fight, especially because he's going to have to close the distance at times. And if Joshua catches him with one big right hand, as we've seen in the past, then it could potentially be an early night for Usyk. Now going on to Usyk, just to be fair, going on to both sides, I think Usyk does have a good chance going into this fight. He's obviously very talented. You know, he's been known to spar heavyweights throughout even his cruiserweight career, and obviously as an amateur as well. However, has he faced those big talented Goliaths enough, like the likes of obviously Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder? No, he's not. And at the end of the day, you know, this is as an amateur, he was obviously a heavyweight. Anthony Joshua was a super heavyweight amateur. You know, when you see the cruiserweights come up, they do struggle against the power in most cases, as far as I'm concerned. There's obviously the odd exception, the likes of Evander Holyfield and stuff like that, but he needs to use his size to his advantage, and that is by boxing and moving all night. And I think the best example we can kind of look at a perfect performance by Usyk was against Gaziev, where he punched and moved all night using that effective southpaw jab, and if any close openings he would use an uppercut or a right hook and then quickly move out the way. Now he needs to be doing that against Anthony Joshua in this fight. He can't afford to get caught up close, or I think he could get hurt. Now on that note, I think it could be a battle of the jab. You know, I think looking at that Chisora fight, I think that's the best kind of example we can see how Usyk will approach it. Now, he did very well to withstand the pressure of Chisora in that fight. However, he did get caught and he struggled when Chisora was putting the pressure on. Now, when you compare that to when Joshua was putting that pressure on Pulev in his offense when he was hurt, that's a concern for me for Usyk. And I think they'll probably know that, and they'll know that they'll need to use the jab and be very smart when an opening occurs. You know, I think they'll probably be targeting the body of Joshua, no doubt, and they'll be looking for opportunities to strike at the right moment, and he needs to be so careful in this fight not to get hit from that right hand from Joshua. I think Usyk can win this fight by using that right hook. It worked very well against Chisora when he was circling round, and that right hook was catching was catching him off guard multiple times, and he did very well with that. And then because of that, Chisora was very aware, and then he started getting caught with the left straight shot and the left hook off Usyk. And I think those are the punches he'll need to use. But this is the thing, Joshua's a bigger guy, and it'll just be more difficult to pull off those shots. And especially if, you know, Joshua's wanting to fight at that mid to longer range, it's going to be difficult for Usyk to get in that kind of range to pull off those shots. And that's where I'm worried, where he's going to have to push the fight, and that is when Anthony Joshua can take advantage of his size and power. I think that's the key for Usyk. I know this is a very, you know, I kind of talked about some kind of punches and combinations he can use, but it's a difficult, he needs to find a way to get up close to unleash those shots, but he needs to be so careful in this fight. I think he can do it if he plays it very smart and is boxing and moving all night, similar to that Gaziev fight. If he does that, he has a tremendous chance to win this fight on Saturday. So in terms of my prediction, guys, if you've watched this video all the way through, I think you've probably guessed what I'm kind of thinking, and that is I think Anthony Joshua is going to win this fight. I think it probably will go the full 12 rounds. It's a hard one for me to say because I'm a massive Usyk fan, and that's not to say I don't think Usyk can win this fight. You know, like I said, if he applies those tactics effectively and perfectly in this fight, he has a really good chance. You know, I think he'll be very cautious, and I think you'll notice the size of Joshua in the early rounds. I kind of think of that kind of Lopez Lomachenko fight, you know, where Loma was very cautious to apply himself in those early rounds, and I can kind of sense that could be the same thing when Usyk comes up against Anthony Joshua. I think he will struggle against the size in the early rounds, and then he might come on stronger in the later rounds, but it could just be too late in my opinion. And if I'm being honest, I think that's the perfect opportunity for Joshua to maybe take out Usyk, but I don't think that will happen. I think it'll probably go to 12 rounds, and it'll probably go Anthony Joshua's way, whether that be a split or a unanimous decision. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited. Let me know what your prediction is in the comments below. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I'll probably try and get out a video on the following Monday of a vlog just of my kind of journey down to London and the fight experience, and also just my reaction after the fight. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you haven't done so already, make sure to check out my Oleksandr Usyk analysis or Anthony Joshua analysis, where I go into detail on both fighters and kind of give you my thoughts on their fighting style. Or you can also check out my Usyk and Joshua training video as well. On that note, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the fight, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.